So hopefully that can give you a little bit more of an idea about some of the applications you can use BirdDog Cloud for. They're using it in a remote location and they do graphics. They receive the NDI stream from the sports ground, which could be in another city. It comes back into their central control room. They add the graphics overlay. They send the NDI stream back and then it goes live to air. So it's a wonderful thing that they're doing. I'll just go back to the presentation, of course. Here we go. And yeah, so hopefully that can give you a bit of an idea about the BirdDog's Cloud customers. Now, as I said, we make hardware and software. Cloud obviously is software. We also make software for the production side, for the live guys. So this is our audio intercom software. There's two versions. There's Comms Lite, which is 100% free. You can download it right now. It's free for all BirdDog customers because you need BirdDogs to run it. And what this allows you to do is plug a headset like this that I'm using now into the BirdDog. You load the software and then you have a full audio intercom setup. It's really simple to use. As I said, it's free. The free version has up to 4 BirdDog camera operators and 1 director. It's got a push-to-talk button so the director can talk to all of the camera operators. It's really that simple. So the director can say, hey, can you please frame the shot properly? Please pan left, zoom out, zoom in, all that kind of, stuff that you need to communicate to the camera operators. Then there's the paid version, which is called Comms Pro. And Michael and obviously Aviola can let you know the local pricing. This allows you to have up to 30 users. And in each group, you can have 6 users. So it's 5 groups of 6 to make 30 users. And how it works is, because of NDI's auto discovery, which we talked about earlier, all of the sources just show up automatically, and they show up here as the devices you can select. You hit here, the plus sign, new group, you type in group 1, you select up to 6 BirdDogs, add it to the group, and then that appears down here as an option. So here on group 1, I've got the camera operators. Here on group 2, I've got the sound guys. If I want to talk to group 1, I just hit the group 1 button and I'm talking to group 1. If I want to talk to group 2, I just talk to group 2. If I want to talk to the different groups, say the producers, I just click on the producers and that'll bring them up into group 2. I click on group 2, I'm talking to group 2. If I want to talk to everybody in the production, I just click the big green button and I'm talking to everybody, So you can say, that's a wrap for today, everybody, thank you so much. Or, even things like, oh, there's a fire in the building, quick, everybody get out of here. But that's your talk to everybody button. So that's, talk to everybody. There's other features in there as well. So in the groups, you can have like full on party lines like you'd expect. So I can mute camera 2 because he won't shut up. I can create a group where, camera 5 can talk to the rest of the group, but camera 1, 2, 3, and 4 cannot, and things like that. So all of the features you'd expect from a professional comms system live in Comms Pro, and it's very easy to set up. The other thing it has is the tally borders. So for the director, they can see which camera is live to air quickly and simply. So red is obviously PGM and green is, next up. So very easy. Okay, so that's Comms Pro. Again, this allows you to plug a headset into any one of our hardware devices and you can have an audio intercom system. Next up, we have our routing and distribution software called Central, and this is kind of like what ties it all together, the power of NDI, in my opinion. Again, there's 2 versions. There's the free version, Central Lite, and then there's a pro version, which is a paid version. Central Lite is available for free to download now. You can, play around with it. What it allows you to do is take any NDI source, which automatically detects on the network, and then route it to any one of our hardware boxes as a decoder. And so what that allows you to do is then say, okay, source 3, go to BirdDog 1 and play it out. And then that will play it out via HDMI or SDI, and you can plug it into a TV, and then you can automatically and quickly have and video content on that screen. Again, because it's all network based, it's just a single cable to the receiver, which gives you the power using PoE or power over Ethernet and video and audio. So really easy way to distribute content around. And then in our Pro version, we add 2 extra features, which is the ability to have unlimited destinations. So there's no limit on how many receivers you have, and you can group them up. Now, this grouping is really cool. Actually, it's really, really cool. So it's hard to see here. It's a little bit small, but there's a download version of this, so you can download a trial and play around with it. It's a full working version that lasts for 15 days. But here you can see there's a little plus symbol. You hit plus and it brings up this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I go +2, +2, +2, +2, and I've created a group of 4 in group 2. Then I can take NDI source 5, hit group 2, hit apply. So 3 button clicks, and I've put that video content onto all 4 of these TV screens using our HDMI or SDI decoders. So that's really cool, and it's a really fast way to get video routed around a facility, or a lot of our customers, they go out and they do a live shoot. They've got 2 or 3 of our NDI boxes on top of their cameras. It's feeding into their TriCast, so they're doing their TriCaster mix. And someone in the venue says, "Hey, I've got 3 or 4 TVs over here. Can I get what you're doing in the TriCaster and streaming for the web? Can I get that on the TVs over here?" Well, now you can just say, "Sure. All I need is a blue Ethernet cable running out of the same network switch that I've already got set up for my NDI network, and I can put that content out to those bird dogs and drive content to the screens within the venue." So a lot of our TriCaster users around the world and vMix and all that, they put a bunch of bird dogs, like a handful of bird dogs in their bag now. And if someone comes up to them and says that, they say, "Sure, I can do that for you, but it's an extra $100. But they've already got the equipment with them, and they can just go bang and put the content on the screens for them. So that's a really cool application for Central Pro. Again, that's shipping now. Michael and Naviola can hook you up. But we do have a promotion which we're launching. You're the second people in the world to know about this. The group yesterday were the first. We haven't told anyone else, but the promotion, we're going to give all education house of worship, so every church or any not-for-profit customer, every one of those 3 categories get both of the softwares for free. So I think it's well over $1,500 worth of free software. So it's a good deal. All you have to do is buy one of our hardware products, and you get all the software for free if you're one of those customers. Cool. Okay, I'll keep going. So you can talk to Michael and Naviola about that after the presentation. They can hook you up. Now, one of the things that we announced at IBC in 2018 was cameras. So there's a lot of confusion on the market about NDI versus NDI HX. That's why I explained to you about the long gob codecs and all that boring junk about, compression and algorithms and, predictive frames and all the rest. But it's important to understand because we are the only company in the world that makes full iframe NDI PDZ cameras. There are many manufacturers out there that say we make NDI cameras. They make NDI HX cameras, which do long GOP H.264. So that's why I spent a little bit of time on that. It's very important to understand that we are the only company that makes full iframe cameras, which are the right format to contribute to your professional broadcast setup. Okay, so we have a few cameras in the range. We have the EYES P200, which is our flagship product. This started shipping in the middle of last year. We have sold thousands of these around the world already. For example, Philadelphia Eagles have a whole bunch of these cameras, and they use them to do interviews for their coaches and their players, and they stream that for the web. But they also do live productions internally, which go out to, I think it's ESPN. And so this camera goes live to air in the USA. This camera has a Sony CMOS backlit sensor. It's got a full Sony image module with the glass. That's the glass, the autofocus, and the zoom mechanism. And what's really important about those 2 things as a combination is when you talk about cameras, there's sort of 3 things that define the picture quality. One is the sensor. One is the image module, which is basically what the sensor talks to. So if the image module is not very good, it's giving rubbish information to the sensor. So it doesn't matter how good the sensor is. If it's getting rubbish information, it's only so much it can do. And then the third thing is the compression that it uses. So because we use the full iframe NDI compression, a Sony sensor and the Sony image module we're giving you unbelievable picture quality in full NDI at a very, very compelling price point. So we've had people compare these to like big name Japanese manufacturer cameras, which retail for about the same price, and they've said hands down ours is better. We have better low light performance. Because we do full NDI, the picture quality is better across NDI. It's an iframe codec, so the broadcasters can use it in their live productions. And the power over Ethernet again. So again, we're on this mission to do one cable for everything. So we do down the cable, we give you power, and we also do NDI control, because these are robotic cameras that can do, you know, pan, tilt, and then zoom in and out. We do all that over one cable, and we can control it from our remote control or our TriCaster or various other things just down a single cable. So for setup and things like that, we have a lot of people who are going out and doing a live production now. And instead of having, you know, 3 or 4 camera operators, they can have, so, you know, like their director and maybe one main camera operator, and then they can throw 2 other cameras out there on the side of the stage. And the director can just control them from the TriCaster using preset places, so they can recall the preset and it just goes to a different place. And so it really gives more flexibility in terms of setting up a live production. And that's why we've had so much success. We have a user group called, on Facebook, Bird Dog User Group. You can jump in there and ask questions. If you go to our Facebook page, you can see that there's people from all over the world that have, you know, purchased these cameras and are really in love with them. Yeah, and they come in black and white options as well. So the white options we find are more for like permanent installations inside a university or a church or something like that, where they want it to blend into the wall, and the black color mainly for sort of live events outside and things like that. So that's our P200. I know Michael's got one there in demo, so you can have a hands-on demonstration after that. It really is a beautiful camera. We're very proud of this one. It's our flagship camera, and we're selling, you know, lots and lots of them to very high-end customers. The next one that I want to show you is the A200. So this is like an all-weather camera. So it's designed to go outside permanently. It operates in temperatures from minus 40 degrees to plus 60 degrees. So pretty much, you know, from Siberia to the Sahara Desert, you can kind of use this guy. It's going to hold up in the heat and the cold. It's waterproof and dustproof, and it's got a windscreen wiper on the front as well. So if it gets wet, you can just fire off the trigger for the windscreen wiper and wipe the rain off the lens. It's been treated for salt spray, so if you're putting it near the ocean, probably not so key for you guys, but it is salt rated, so probably that counts for the sand as well. And it's PoE as well, so you can run one cable and have power coming down the same cable as the control and the video. Again, this has been super popular. We have this one hanging on like the White House to do surveillance of people running around if people try and break into the White House, which is, you know, the president's house in the USA. We have them hanging off stadiums such as the Philadelphia Eagles NFL Stadium, New York Mets. We have about 30 pieces of this going to the Olympics, if the Olympics are still on. There's all kinds of applications for the A200. Again, it uses the same Sony CMOS backlit sensor in the same image module as the P200, so you can expect really, really high picture quality. And it's got a 30 times optical zoom. So again, really, really nice camera with lots of applications. Then we've got the A300, which is similar to the A200 in that it's an all-weather camera that's outside. It's actually got a nitrogen-filled housing to stop it fogging up. So there's no oxygen inside the housing. It's nitrogen, so it can't fog up. And this is more designed for like fixed installations in harsh environments. It's got a wind category rating that will withstand a Category 4 hurricane. And again, it's got the Sony CMOS backlit sensor and Sony image module for really high quality pictures. A lot of people ask if it's got 2 cameras. It's got one camera, one's a lens, and one's actually a laser. And the laser is for shooting out at night time and helping get focus in low light conditions. So, you know, it's got all kinds of applications. Yep, so that's our A300. I don't know what's next, I can't remember. a PDC keyboard. So this little guy has been going quite well. It's a keyboard for controlling the cameras. You can mix and match cameras with this. So you can mix and match traditional SDI cameras from, say, Sony or Panasonic or JVC with our NDI cameras, and you can control both from the same controller. You can have up to 255 cameras attached to one controller, and it gives you everything you need to do, like the iris settings, the shading. You can recall presets. Clearly, you can do zoom. You can use the joystick to move the cameras around and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's really nice. It's about this big, so it fits in a fly pack really, really nicely. It's got a cast steel frame, so it's quite sturdy and solid. And yeah, it's got like silicon soft touch buttons, so it's quite nice on the, quite a nice tactile thing to use. I'm not sure if Michael's got one there. Hopefully he does. It's a really nice little controller, and it's going really well. And then we have the P100. So this is last, and the reason this is last is because it doesn't have the Sony CMOS backlit sensor and image module, but it still is a very good picture quality for the price. This is the lowest cost full NDI camera on the planet, and we're selling quite a lot of these to schools. We've sold a lot of these to medical facilities. We have a customer actually in France who does medical. They make, I don't know how to explain it. It's basically like an image processing thing to take photos of your brain and then process it. But they use this camera not to take the photos of the brain, of course, but to do training, because it's a network capable camera. They can sit this in the room, and then someone can dial in from the other side of the world using our cloud software, and they can get training on a system that's, say in Germany when they're sitting in, Melbourne, Australia, or they can get us training on a unit that's in France when they're in Switzerland, stuff like that. So that's the sort of application for this. We have another customer in the USA who's putting these into ambulances. And again, because of the way NDI works, it's a network connection. And because of the way the USA is, they're using that for insurance, so that if something happens inside the ambulance, they have a recording of what happened for insurance purposes. That's the P100. Okay, sorry, Abiola, I just saw your thing. I'll be faster. Okay, we also have some 4K products. I just want to show you this one and highlight this one in particular. This is the P4K. This is shipping in about 3 to 4 weeks. It has a Sony 1-inch Exmor R CMOS backlit sensor, 4K output. You've got control over the black level and the gamma control, which are super high-end features for a camera. It's got tally and all that sort of thing as well. But this will give you unbelievably good picture quality for the price. So this is
Mojo technology. The Mojo technology is free software. So not only does it transmit over public internet, it also allows you to do your editing. So can you imagine you are filming with your mobile phone, you can actually cut in, cut out, short clip, and transmit it back to your studios or back to base or back to wherever. And so this gentleman, he works a lot with United Nations, and he's always in The Hague. You know, all these people that do all this, he's a Cameroonian. They cover all this, you know, this crime. What's those people that they investigate in Hague? Yeah, so they want to do a lot of covert recording. They don't want people to know. Yeah. So again, you know, where it's all about solutions, really. It's not, the world is not just only about you selling boxes. It's like there's a solution, there's a problem. We want to find a solution for them. And there's these guys have got all these little clever solutions that you don't have to spend a lot of money and time doing. And with the coronavirus now, like is happening as we're talking, many churches are finding solutions. They're coming to us saying they're restricting gathering now of more than 250 people, you know, in some countries. So what's going to happen? How do we solve that? This coming Wednesday, for example, all our cell groups, nobody is going anywhere. So our pastor wants to transmit to all the cell groups from his living room. How are we going to make that happen? We need to be talking to people like this so that we tell them, this is the problem we're having. What solutions can you give us? And the solution doesn't really have to be really that expensive. It's there. It's just for us to just key in. So I'm just talking to try and buy time. I don't know if Florian is back. Is he back home? Okay, we're almost there. But I'm really excited about the Mojo software. And the funny thing with this Mojo software is it only costs $3,500 or something like that. You pay that once, and once you paid it, that's it. You can use that software to bring live feed anywhere in the world. So these units were here in Nigeria, and we'll send live feed from London into Nigeria, and he send us link back to the UK. So we got Florian. All right, Wale, please introduce Florian. Thank you.
Okay, Florian is the sales engineer and representative of Harvey West. His face looks different from the last time I saw him, so I'm not even sure if this is Florian. Florian, are you the one?
Yes.
So what happened to the air? Is it coronavirus? Okay, so over to you. You have the floor.
Okay, so hello everybody. I will start with a quick introduction and then give you more information about what Masterclass will do, our product, some kind of use cases and what. So just quickly, thanks for the. So I'm Florian. I'm the director in charge of Masterclass. I will switch to the presentation. You can have more pictures and information about it. So I'm just going to in.
Keep talking, Florian.
Can you see me? I don't know if you kind of know on. Hello?
Hello, Florine. Please just go on.
Can you see my Hello?
Hello, Florian. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
We're
It's my
having
screen.
problems sending you back a return feed. Can you just start? Don't worry about it. We want you to see us in a perfect world, but the world is not perfect right now. Can you just please start your presentation, right?
No, but can you see my No.
Sorry?
Can you see my
Yeah, we can see you, so can you just start? Don't worry about seeing us.
Not me.
All right. Thank you.
Hello? Can you see my slide? So I don't know if my slides or not.
Hello, Florian.
Yes, can you see?
Yeah, you can start. You can start. We're already watching you.
Sure, you can see.
I can see your face. So you need to bring you up your desktop. Okay. Florian, just start. You can start.
Yes, but can you see slides?
I know. You can see yourself, right?
Yeah, but I'm sharing.
Don't worry. Just start. While you're doing your presentation, I'll send you the people's faces.
No, but that's not what I'm doing. I want to share slides.
You want to see what?
I want to send slides so we can see what I'm explaining. Okay. So sorry for the delay. I'm just starting again, but I wanted you to be able to see the slides and pictures when I'm talking. It will be easier to know what the rest is doing and what. So just a quick start. I'm Florian. I'm sales director in charge of Nigeria at AviWest. So AviWest, uh, AviWest is a French company. So as you can see on the map, we are headquartered in France. We have office all our I will show you technologies are designed and manufactured in France. So AviWest, for an introduction, company was in 2008. So we have been on those technology for 10 years now. So most of the it's part of the R&D. Everything is being developed and managed in-house. So what is AviWeb? We are designing manufacturing equipment for live video transmission. Um, the core idea about AviWeb development and product is to be able to use unmanaged networks live video transmission. So instead of using dedicated satellite or dedicated fiber, all the products developing are capable of using any kind of IP network. Audio is not good. Okay. I can try the headset better. Is it better? Hello. Okay. So I hope it is better with the headset. So as I was explaining, all our products and technology are designed to use publicly available IP network. Uh, Hello. Yes, hold on. I'm just restarting my computer.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
Yes, I am ready. Can you see the slides? Yes, so you can see my slides full screen. Okay, good, good. Is your audio good now? Okay, good, good. Sorry about that. So I was explaining that all the products and technologies which are being developed by AviWest are designed for live high-quality video transmission over unmanaged networks. So instead of using dedicated satellite or fiber, we are designing products which can use the public internet, so unmanaged IP networks. So it can be 3G, 4G bonded cellular, of course, but not only, it can be Wi-Fi, it can be public landline internet, it can be best effort IP satellite like BGAN, KA band services, for example, or Global Express. And of course, it can make use of dedicated IP networks as well. Our products are being used by a really large range of customers with different workflows. It can be broadcasters, online media, news agencies, video services, and we have some customers on the security market as well, like police departments or first responders. So AviWest products are being used worldwide now. So we are the #1 bonded cellular solution in Europe, in Middle East, in many African countries as well. We have a very strong presence in North America, Latin America, Asia. And it's used by large broadcasters, smaller ones, news agencies, production companies globally. So quickly, and I will not spend too much time on this slide. And if you are dropping me an email or WhatsApp after my explanation, I can send them to you so you can watch more carefully. So here it's just showing globally the AviWest workflow. So on the left side, we got all the AviWest encoders, which can be. Okay. So on the left side, you have all the encoders. We have a range of products. I will show you a bit more later. We have camera-mounted products. We have smaller products to use with camcorders. We have rack-mount products you can put in studios, hobby van, trucks, stadiums. We have some software-based solution for smartphones, tablets, laptops as well. All of them are using all kinds of IP networks to send a live video feed to the streamer receiver. So usually in the master control, if you have a TV station, or it can be directly in the cloud if you're an online media, it's a reception, decoding and distribution platform. So it can not only decode your live video into your master control, but it can also distribute it over the public internet to other stations, to the headquarters, to affiliates, and also to social networks. And all that can be done with a single box. So this workflow is entirely relying on the SafeStream technology called SST. It's our bonding technology which is making the transmission robust, reliable, even if you are having bad network conditions. So the way it is working in the field, you will have one of our encoder. It can be the Pro 3 series, it can be the Air. Like, I can show you some of the products, like those one. I don't know if you can see me at the same time, but you will see some pictures on next slides. And all those products, they are capable of being connected to cellular networks, Wi-Fi, landline, satellite. And what the technology is doing, the SafeStream technology is doing, the SafeStream technology is bonding all those connections together. So it means you can bond multiple cellular networks with Wi-Fi, with landline, all at the same time. The SafeStream technology we have been developing in-house is not only about bonding, it's also doing packet reordering, forward error correction, packet retransmission, network adaptive bitrate, dynamic resolution, and bonding. It's a point-to-point solution, so it's directly connecting to the StreamHub on the other end. You don't need to pay for a cloud-based service. You would have to pay monthly or yearly. As soon as you got the equipment, you set the equipment into your master control, then it's a point-to-point solution and you don't have recurring costs in the cloud. And the SafeStream technology is doing more. It's also doing some quality of service, security, adaptive bitrate encoding. We won an Emmy Award last year at NAB in Las Vegas for this technology, and we have been awarded another Emmy Award this year again, even if the NAB is cancelled, but we won a second Emmy Award for this technology, because this technology is much more powerful than other bonding technology you might have been using before. So I have been explaining that the SST technology is doing bonding and multiple mechanisms for reliable live video transmission. But it's not only doing live video transmission. As you can see on this slide, it's a multi-content support. So the SST protocol it's a protocol. It's doing a tunnel between your field units and your master control. A high-speed bonding tunnel. So it can be thought as a VPN. It's a kind of VPN, but using bonding technologies and all our SST mechanism. So inside this tunnel, you can send live video, of course. You can send files. You have a full duplex intercom system, but you can also remotely control PTZ cameras. So we start having more and more customers. For example, they are doing remote production and they are controlling remote cameras in a stadium, for example, from the remote TV station. You can also have a video return feed to the field. So it can be for monitoring, for confidence, or for return program feed in the field. And on top of that, you can also use our technology for any kind of IP data. So it's doing an IP bridge, which means any kind of video equipment or any kind of IP-based equipment you are plugging over Wi-Fi or Ethernet on our field units will be on the same local network, on the same subnet as the StreamHub server in your master control, like a VPN. So this is giving you much more advanced capabilities, and it's not only about live video transmission. You can use this technology for remote production, having PTZ cameras in the venue, and doing everything remotely, including controlling the camera, passing data, and this kind of thing. So you have probably heard a lot about 5G. So all our products, they do embed modems, built-in modems and built-in antennas. They are 3G, 4G, and we are working on 5G. So we are going to showcase at NAB our first products with internal 5G modems. So that's something which is going to be available very soon. And we are working very closely with modems manufacturer and provider cellular carriers as well. So I will show you more about each of the products a bit later, but I wanted to show you different kind of applications for our products. So here I will show you more use cases for our mobile units, the Pro 3 and the R series, and then I will show you a bit more about the rack mount solution. So our mobile units are being used for news gathering. So that's very traditional way, and you are probably using some bonded cellular solutions for that already. So if you want to cover elections, for example, you can have a team with our products in every voting office and receive in your master control all the feeds simultaneously over cellular and over the public internet using the SafeStream technology. Then we start having more and more customers using our products for sports. If you are covering a marathon or if you are covering a cycling event, using traditional satellite or fiber or microwave is usually very expensive and very complicated, because if you want to cover the entire race, you will need microwave cameras, you will need an helicopter to catch the signal, transmit it back to some receiving sites, and then you will
so you can all be cursed with my beautiful face. All right, cool. All right, perfect. So the Evo, while being a shared storage solution first and foremost, and having intelligent, asset management included with it, is also something we've been really pursuing recently, is making sure that Evo is NDI ready. So what we've done, and what we've worked a lot with New Tech in partnering to not only develop the technology, but create something that is completely, useful and authorized in these environments, is we've created the first native NDI-enabled shared storage. It is also something that New Tech also carry an SNS-built server called the NRS, which is New Tech Remote Storage. It is essentially an Evo with a New Tech badge on it and additional NDI functionality. And it's something that we've worked quite hard on to make completely capable in these environments. And essentially what it does is it plugs in, you can have multiple TriCasters connect directly to an Evo unit. And from there, you can have the TriCaster running Share Browser, which we talked about yesterday. I'll just grab a screenshot of that very quickly to refresh everyone's memory. So this is Share Browser. This will run inside of the TriCaster interface and will make hundreds of terabytes potentially, depending on the size of the server, searchable from within the TriCaster's interface. So while the TriCaster has, a few terabytes on hand of storage, this gives you, an incredible amount more of footage that you can choose between for your broadcasts, for your shows, for whatever it is that you're trying to do. So that's like the main way it works. You can kind of see here on the right, we've got a quick sort of diagram set up. The New Tech Remote Storage, or the Evo, sits here at the bottom. So that's there. And I wanted to talk a little bit about one of our original use cases for this and the success that this customer has had. So Microsoft, who we all know and love, has been using an Evo for some time now for this purpose. This is about 3 years old, I want to say. And they have their Channel 9, which is their in-house community channel for the development community. And, content is anything from new ideas, what's happening next, how to apply certain new parts of operating systems and things like that. And they wanted to be able to get that message out to as many people as possible in a way that was really quick for them and easy to go ahead and get that message across. So, they have up to 100 videos per week, which I'm sure some of you can totally identify with. And I'm sure there are others of you who would love to get out 100 videos per week. And so that's the sort of efficiency and the sort of workflow that we're trying to enable for you. And the Evo does a really good job of that. You can see here too that the unique thing about putting an Evo or an NRS in this environment is that because of our ability to interact with Premiere and Final Cut 10 and After Effects, it really links that part of the production, the ability to do edits quickly on the fly, with the broadcast side of the workflow. So if you want to bring something in, do a couple of quick tweaks or touch-ups, and then push it back out to your audience, that's going to be an incredibly effective way to do that, especially because the TriCaster can record directly to the Evo. There is no lengthy transfer time. It's moving to Evo in real time as it's happening. So you're going to have an incredible time savings there as well. and this talks a little bit about that solution. So by implementing the Evo, they record the ISOs directly to the shared storage. They access the storage clips during the production, which is happening in many cases while the clip is still coming in. Premiere and Final Cut 10 will both allow for you to edit a file as it's still growing. It doesn't need to be a finished instance yet or a finished file. So we can take advantage of all of those different things and make for an incredibly quick and efficient workflow. And like they have 3 full-time editors and motion graphics artists working in tandem with all of this. So that's one of my favorite instances that I just wanted to include for you. It's something that I think really speaks to also at a higher level our ability as developers and understanding what the trends are in the market. More importantly, what's not just a trend, but what's becoming a new staple, what's becoming the new paradigm. NDI certainly seems to be here to stay. They have found a vacuum in a market that's otherwise been very hesitant to claim a standard. And they've done a magnificent job at NewTek saying, you know what, if nobody else is going to do that, we've got some great ideas and let's see how they work. And so far, I think, we've seen with our customer bases, and I'm sure a lot of you are already using NDI, you've noticed how amazing it is and what an IP, infrastructure can really enable. So that's how that works. And that just kind of talks a little bit more about, our involvement in the industry as a whole. We have a lot of responsibility for designing shared storage for everything you can imagine, and that is for both NewTek environments and some broadcast. We're heavily involved with ROS and other kind of more specialized broadcast environments. Our status as an Apple developer helps us stay ahead of the curve when there are new OSs coming out, when there are problems to be fixed, because oftentimes Apple will make a change that will jog things up, and we need to be able to be on top of that. Same for Adobe and Blackmagic. We do a lot of work with them to make sure that we're enabling and providing workflows that otherwise wouldn't be possible without that relationship. So relationships are key. We have worked very hard to establish them, and because of them, the Evo is that much better of a product, and we think you'll enjoy it that much more. So with that said, I just want to, I think that's my last, yes, that's the last slide. I've got some things I wanted to show you guys live. So let's go ahead and end that portion. Bring this down. And I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about one of our biggest success stories, because I think they're a really special case in that they envelop pretty much everything we try to do as a company into one special customer. So one of our customers who we've been with since their inception is Masterclass. Masterclass has devoted themselves to being able to teach people a slew of different skills, and in doing so have really taken upon themselves, kind of the Herculean task of, all right, we need to create all these different videos. They need to be educational, but they need to be entertaining as well to keep everyone's focus. And so one of the things that we did with them, they are a group of creatives. When they first started, they did not have an IT team at all. Everybody was an editor. So their first Evo was managed and run by an editor. What's really cool now is they started off with, I want to say, like 150 terabytes. They are now up to around 3 petabytes of storage. And that same single editor is still managing the system. What I think is really special about that is that One person can take what is by all means a massive system and make sure it stays working, make sure it is comfortable and everything is doing what it's supposed to, and still do their regular job. This is not something where you have to have the Evo solution, is not something where you have to have somebody managing the Evo or the storage in general, and that be their entire job. And so that really opens up a lot of free time for you. That opens up a lot of possibilities to, save on staff costs, especially in the beginning as you're growing. Some people do have certainly IT staff that look in after this. Evo is also exceptionally friendly to third-party storage. So if you come across people who have, have already had multiple petabytes in place and they're just putting Evo on top to add additional intelligence or new workflows, a lot of companies have multiple servers for multiple parts of their business. They've got a creative agency, but they also have an accounting department and a legal department and all these other things. So the Evo is only responsible for a small number of creatives, whereas there's a bunch of other more traditional business endeavors happening there. That's the kind of situation where you'll often see an IT professional then managing all of that storage. But if they only had Evo, they wouldn't need them. So that is something that we're quite proud of. We've been working with them for many years now, and their growth is something that we aim to see for all of our different clients. And it's just something cool because there's something here for everyone. And just as that's true of Masterclass, there's something for everyone inside of an Evo. So whatever workflow you're trying to enable, whether it's a broadcast environment, a house of worship, a post-production, or if you're just, making videos that you want to, just kind of get a message out in general, we've got something for you. So I wanted to talk about them a little bit. The other really neat thing, so if you'll permit me here, I'll just hop over to our website quickly. We have a lot of really nice bits of information here, especially with regards to who we work with. We are quite proud of a lot of our partnerships, and so in your leisure, you can go ahead and view the different workflows we've enabled over the years with a ton of different people. You can see professional sports teams. You can see people who are out in, the wilderness here. For this specific one, On the Brink docu-series was cut with Evo. So people who are out in the middle of, the wilderness are able to get everything done. In many cases, using portable Evos. Our smaller Evo Prodigy is a wonderful device for this, because sometimes you're on the road and you're on the road for a sustained amount of time. And so the ability to get a lot of editing and the creative process behind the scenes done before you ultimately, drive or fly back home can really be a time saver and really make you more efficient. So there's a lot of cool things to be had there. And just, all these different people. Here again, here's Microsoft's Channel 9 that we were just talking about. So if you're curious, you can read about this in more detail. But you can see here, I feel like this is a pretty familiar setup that a lot of you will be familiar with here. A couple of cameras, some graphics in the background. But other than that, it's about getting a message out and, just making things nice and easy. So the ability of the Evo to really fit in any environment and make their workflow much more succinct and much more, useful is really our goal. So go ahead and check those out when you have a moment. We'd love to, kind of hear what you think about them. There's an instance in these customer stories for everyone that I think you can identify with. So sometimes these are just really helpful to understand, okay, well, I get how this works in general, but how's it going to work for me? These do a wonderful job of helping to put those sorts of things in context, I think. That being So we can then preview that. And here, even the Evo can insert Share Browser into the actual panel of Premiere. So I can grab all this footage and I can say, oh, hey, this is perfect. Let's add this to all of these files. And I can search from within Premiere and see all of my different files that I've created and that I've saved for it. So we really want to make a shared storage that is integrated with the software and allows for, some really easy and some really logical workflows, helping you work quickly, helping you make sure all of this is easy to find and easy to use. So that's how that works. It also will do that again for many other softwares. So we want it to be something that's easy to use. Yeah, that's really it. So I wanted to give you an idea of how Share Browser works in this sense, how it kind of bridges the gap between the software you're editing in and the actual shared storage itself, and just kind of the place it plays in the workflow. So that is that. And I think at this point, the last thing I want to show you, and then I'll be happy to open it up for any sorts of questions, is the Evo has a management panel that is accessible from any internet, like whether it's Firefox, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, etc., any browser. And basically, you come back here, you can manage the storage. You can see like the state of everything. You can see everything is in good health. Everything is online here. All green is all good. You can see here we have the ability to build in the NDI feeds and say, okay, great. Here's a different TriCasters or other cameras. Maybe it's a Panasonic or PTZ camera or what have you. Those could all be listed here as sources, and then we can create the ability to then have captures right there for you. But also too, Slingshot lives here. Slingshot is our automations manager, which also governs any sort of remote replication. So the ability to take what's important to you on Evo and back it up to then more locations, whether that be the cloud, whether that be another piece of storage. You can have Evo do that weekly, hourly, daily, whatever makes the most sense for you. And all of that is quite easy to manage. So if you want, so we built all of these different automations on our API that exists on the storage. If you are particularly interested in making your own automations, that is something we highly encourage, and we provide Swagger documentation to help you, build your own coding around that and make your own processes other than the ones that we've built into the Evo, simple copies, moves, deletes, things like that. So we try to be as helpful as we can, but we also want to enable you and give you the tools necessary to then say, hey, I want to make a really specialized script for my particular workflow. Will Evo support that? And the answer is absolutely, Evo will. So that was the last thing I wanted to impart you with. Hopefully you found this all very informative and helpful. But certainly too, I'm happy to take any questions and yeah, see what we can do here. Yes. I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Yes, wait, I'm trying to find out if there is anybody that has any question for you.
Sorry guys, I'm having trouble getting the whole message through. There's a chat window here in GoToMeeting. Would it be possible to throw the question in there? I'm not sure who's controlling the
Anybody?
meeting.
All right, Alex. I think that will be all. Nobody has any question at the moment. I'll chat you up.
And if there are no questions, that's okay as well. Certainly don't feel any. Okay, yeah, Biola says no questions. Perfectly. Well, hopefully that means I've been really good at my job today. But if you guys have any other questions that you think of later, again, please, both Biola and Michael know how to get a hold of me. So I'm happy to answer anything over email, or if you want to have a quick call, happy to do that too. Again, thank you so much for your time, both yesterday and today. Those of you who are new today, if there's anything you want to catch up on, just let me know. Yeah, again, thank you all so much, and it's been really great speaking with you. I look forward to talking to you soon, and yeah, until then, see you later.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
So we'll have a 5 minutes break, then Eric will come in. Just 5 minutes. We are actually spent on time. Thank you.